What's up, everybody? It's time for another video in a small little installment I have done in the past about making money playing games. Now, all of the previous videos were more about me trying to make money with games I already play or games I am interested in. This video is going to be, I hope, actually helpful for people who want to play games, mostly mobile games, to make actual side money. So some funds here and there, maybe for some extra food, treats, whatever. Times are really tough right now, and I recently lost my job, so I started looking further into this before. And in the previous series, I did happen upon some offer wall websites like we're going to talk about today, but I never really enjoyed them or got deep into those ones. So today's video, I'm going to break up into 3 quick parts. One is going to be a quick overview of the websites I have been using and tested and my quick thoughts on them. 2 is going to be what to avoid or tips and tricks, things like that, what to know. And then 3 is going to be going over the games I have actually played and what I have earned from them. This should be really helpful because you don't have to go in blind like I did and kind of figure out which ones work well, which ones don't, which offers are not very great, and which ones are really easy. So this is the 3rd time I'm filming this, so I'm hoping to make this really quick and concise, but very informational and helpful to anyone who wants to do this. So a good subreddit to reference during this is the Beer Money subreddit. There are people who do this for a full-time job. Now they do a mix of other things, focus groups or paid surveys or tests, things like that. There are a lot of different websites out there, but since this is mainly a gaming channel, I'm only going to go over the gaming aspect of it. So let's get into which sites I've been using and which one I actually prefer. So personally, I am actually a bigger fan of Freecash.com, and I am going to put all of the links in the description to help you out. The Freecash one will be an affiliate link. I'm not paid to make this video or sponsored by anyone, but I do have an affiliate link with Freecash, which anyone can get if you want to invite your friends as well. It's just the one that I prefer, and since this video isn't sponsored or anything, I can kind of say whatever I want and tell you what to avoid and what things work and yada yada. I will say that the Beer Money subreddit, for some reason, does not really like freecash.com. There have been some complaints about issues that people have had with payouts. I have not had any issues yet. Every offer game-wise that I've tried to do has worked, and I have successfully paid out almost all of my funds, about $85-90 so far already, I think, that I've actually paid out and received. I do have some more money pending right now. So the other website is swagbucks.com, and this is the one that the Beer Money subreddit actually prefers. I don't really enjoy the layout and design of the website. That's one of the main reasons that I prefer Freecash. But also, I have actually had an issue on Swagbucks where I was not paid or credited for an offer. And I'll go through some tips and tricks and things so that hopefully you can avoid not being paid out for an offer on these websites. The 3rd one that I have done something on is grabpoints.com. And this one, I feel the website's even worse than Swagbucks, but these 3 are all ones that I've done enough to get paid for, and I have received payment, no issues whatsoever. I did grab points because there was an offer on freecash.com. If you earned 10,000 points on grab points, then you also got paid on Freecash. So it was basically earning $10 times 2 for playing one game. I don't believe that offer is available anymore, and that is something good to note, is some of these offers that I mentioned might not be around by the time you watch this, or they might be different. So just keep that in mind, but all of the tips and ideas behind everything should always apply. So now that I've kind of let you know which 3 websites I've mainly used, that is freecash.com, swagbucks.com, and grabpoints.com, I'm going to quickly go over things that you should avoid, any tips or tricks or things that I have learned on the websites, and these should help you get started a little easier than just going in by yourself. So using freecash.com as an example, how these websites work is they have different offer walls that give offers to people to play games, do certain tasks, and then get paid for doing it. It's a way that a lot of companies get people to play their games. Hopefully they end up spending money on the games or viewing advertising if the games have ads in them, yada yada. So these are my completed offers, and one thing that you will notice on all websites is there are paid and payment pending, things like that. Paid obviously means you've already been credited for it. Payment in 4 days, as you see here, means that I will be credited in 4 days. Every website basically works the same, where when you go to an offer, you see a list of what you need to do. So the biggest tips I have for something like this is always thoroughly read the description. And you can even check who the provider is if you've had a bad experience with a provider before and you want to avoid them. So there are ones that ask you to spend money within the app. The only time I will ever do that is if you get paid back more than you spent, which does happen. Otherwise, I just do the basic tasks. So on this one, I got a penny for installing the app. I actually really like these tasks because it shows me right away that it's already tracking that I've installed it and I'm playing it, and I don't need to worry or question if it's going to effectively track. Then I've reached crop 2 and reached crop 3. You'll see that I definitely have ADHD because I do this a lot, where I'll play a certain game until I'm tired of it and then I'll just stop. Part of that is because I like to switch around games. The other part is because sometimes the goals are a lot harder or take longer, and there are people who finish these entirely and get the full payout of, $71, or there's ones that have even more than that. I just hop around too much. One of the things you always want to check, other than the tasks you need to complete, are the steps or information, and I'll show you a Swagbuck example here in a moment. In order to get your reward, you must reach the crops during the 30 days. So this one says you have 30 days to reach those goals. It's good to keep in mind. And only new users are eligible for reward. So this is where my next tip is going to come in, and that is almost all of these offers, unless it says otherwise, are only for new users. So if I sort this page by the highest reward, you'll see Raid Shadow Legends is very often in one of the highest paid. So this here is a offer from Raid Shadow Legends for a total of $218, which is a good amount of money. Look at all the tasks, see how easy or hard they sound, but then in the steps it does say right there, new users only. So if you've already played Raid Shadow Legends and you have an account, I would not recommend these offers. Now, there are people who have multiple accounts across the board. There are people who do multiple Swagbuck accounts, multiple Freecash accounts, and do multiple instances of the same game. I would not recommend that unless you have a lot of free time and it's not a big worry to you if you get disqualified. because they can disqualify you for trying to accept the offer too many times and being the same person. So that is one thing to be aware of, is most games require you to be a new user, and if you sign up on multiple websites or multiple different offers at the same time, you can be disqualified. So just make sure you know that. I've just given you the warning there. Take that as you will. So this is what a Swagbucks offer looks like, and you can see all of the qualifications here. I did try the Lucky Buddies game, but I tried it through a different website, and the only goal was to reach level 100. I would not recommend that. It is a really big grind. And if I would have seen the Swagbucks one, level 26, level 51 wouldn't have been quite as bad, but with leveling, each level gets harder and harder, requires more XP, yada yada. So with that comes, if you want to make various accounts, if you want to have a Swagbucks account, a Freecash account, Grab Points account, you can see which one offers the best offer, and you can decide which website to do it through based on that. One thing I will say about Swagbucks is they do offer daily things you can do. If you reach a amount of 34 Swagbucks, then you get a bonus 3 Swagbucks, which isn't very much, but these things add up quickly. As you saw on my profile, which I'll show again in a bit, I've earned over $100 in 30 days, and at the end, I'll tell you which offers I have done and more offers I think you should avoid. Okay, so I am trying as hard as I can to not ramble too much and just give quick, concise information, but I feel there's a lot of things that can be helpful. So my last tip is, I am focusing on the gaming aspect of this because I enjoy trying new games. This is a gaming channel, and it's nice to just grind a game and get a little kickback for it, especially if you need a little side money. There are also other offers on these websites, and there are a ton of surveys that you can do. What I will caution you with about surveys is they can waste a lot of time. Some of them are very long, and you can get halfway through the survey and they disqualify you based on some of your answers, and the survey partner will not pay you unless you make it to the very end. Now, I do sometimes try to mix in a survey or two if it's one that doesn't say it takes an hour, to try to reach different bonuses and things like that on each website. But it is risky because of what I've just explained. So that's just something good to note. And a big chunk of my free cash earnings so far are from signing up for a stash account, which I'll explain in the last part of the video when I go over my offers. So it's not a game, but there are some that come out that are really good and are high paying, and I don't mind trying. So just read everything, look over, see if it's worth it to you or not. If it looks sketchy or the website looks, really not very well made, probably just ignore it and move on. But as you can see, there's a lot of highly popular games, a lot of studios use something like this, and if you focus on games, it should be pretty good. Now, it might seem kind of silly talking about things like pennies and dollars, but it really does add up, and it helps if you need, and times are pretty tough out there this year. A ton of layoffs, inflation is out of control, so let's get into which offers I have done, how I did them, and which ones I tried that you should specifically avoid, in my opinion. So I started actually looking into this to see how viable it was for the channel before I lost my job. I started on Swagbucks at the start of September, and then I lost my job quickly after, and it became something that I took a much deeper dive into. So each website has the same way that you can sort through the offers. Going by most popular will, of course, show you the ones that are most popular, and people do rate them. So they rate them based on their experience or how easy it was, yada yada. So if you go by most popular, as you get down further, they'll get less and less quality. As well, you can sort by the max payout first, so you can see which ones are higher paying, and that is a good tool to use. So specific games that I have done and advice on them or whether to avoid them, etc., I will go through really quickly here. So this is for Match Masters on Swagbucks, and it is still an active opportunity as of the time I am recording this. Trophy level 1700 within 7 days was the goal, which I have not completed. Now, I thought this was not going to be very hard, but it actually turned out to be pretty hard. The game is actually pretty decent, but they limit you to playing games only if you have a booster to use in the game. And I played the game, the entire game, every mode, all of that. And there are some solo missions that I really tried hard on and just used a ton of boosters. So I did not make it to 1700 trophy level. If you want to do it and you're really good at, match 4, match 5 type games, then you can just focus directly on the trophy section of it, getting trophies, and maybe it'll be easier for you to do. I have read on Reddit that people enjoy the game and they have completed it, but that's the reason that I failed. So there are a lot of games that work basically the same way and have similar goals. One of them being Ant Legion that I did on Swagbucks, and it was each queen level you reach, you get paid a certain amount. Your queen level is basically just your main base, and it's very easy to just rush that one goal if that's what you want to do. So going over to freecash.com, which, like I said, is what I prefer, and my affiliate link will be in the description if you want to sign up and try it out. It does help me, and any help is great right now. So this list here are the offers that I have completed, and I'm going to go through them real quick about what style of game, how easy or hard it was, what to avoid. Recently, I have been playing Solitaire Grand Harvest. I was able to reach crop 3, which gave me a total of about $1. Not super high amount, but it literally took me, an afternoon playing very casually, not just sitting there grinding. Crop 5 is a little further away, and I don't enjoy the solitaire type game myself, so I don't know if I'll finish it. Currently, I am doing Rush Royale, and this has one of those ones where it's really good to see a really low goal because it shows that it's tracking efficiently. And I am almost at Arena 8, and I've only been playing for 3 days, and you have a total of 13 days to reach Arena 8, and then you get paid $7.22. I actually really like this game, so it's not a problem at all. It is a PvP tower defense style game that has card collection, different spells, things like that. And you PvP in the fact that when you kill a monster on your side, it gets sent to the other person's side. And if they hit the base, they die, you win, etc. So I actually really like that one. Another one that is really easy right now is World of Warships. I did this $3 goal literally in less than 20 minutes, and the game is pretty interesting. It's on PC if you're into a World of Warships, naval battle kind of game, and you get another $9 for playing at least 8 battles. This one doesn't have a specific time constraint listed on it, but it is a general note that it might be 30 days in almost all cases, so keep that in mind. and it says mobile registrations do not count. So easy enough. I downloaded it on PC. I made $3 just in my free time, and I will probably finish the other goal. The next one I tested out was one of the ones where you get cash back for spending in the app. And the reason that I personally did this is because I got a Google Play gift card from doing other things. So it wasn't really me spending money that I need for other things. And it paid out more than I put in. So if you spend a total of $5, you get $7 back. It's a profit, obviously. And I got paid $15 for completing level 200. Now, real quick on this one, it's called Caesar's Slots. And the tip for this game is if you want to play this, if you like slots, it has a ton of slot options that have different max bets and things like that. You will gain XP and level up the fastest if you do the max bet. So if you unlock a certain slot machine that has a max bet of only, say, 1,000,000 coins instead of 10 million or something like that, if you do the max bet, you will level up way faster. And once I learned that, I got from level 100 to level 200 in, it was like 6 minutes. That going back to the cash back, there is an option in the game, and it will probably go on sale when you're playing it, to unlock your vault of saved coins for like $1.99. That'll give you millions of coins so that you can do max bets, get your cash back, level up to level 200, or if you want to keep going, you can get more, and you're good to go. Chief Almighty is just another one of those games where you build out a base, you do different missions, and the main goal on this one was to get 3 wild girls or more, as you can see here. Getting 5+ is really hard, which I've confirmed on Reddit, so I stopped at 3. 3 just took me leveling up to base level 11 or something. Once again, you can rush it by using in-game currency that they give you for free, in-game speed ups that they give you for free, all of those type things. If you've played a game like this before, it's probably really easy for you to know what I'm saying. So now comes to the type of game that I think you should avoid, or at least be very careful with. As you will see, I did get paid 9 cents for this one, and it is the type of game where they want you to reach a certain depth. It may say 300 meters, it may say 300 levels, it may say 300 feet, but it's basically a game where you just send something down and grab as much as you can while avoiding enemies, and then you bring it back up, you get paid, and then you increase your depth with the money you earned. Almost all of these games that I've looked at are games that were basically made to serve you a ton of ads. So they have banner ads everywhere, the lobby has ads, and every time you complete a drop down, it plays an ad after to either have you times your earnings by 5, or even if you say no, it'll still show you an ad. Don't recommend these games, especially because I took the time to try to get to like level 100 or whatever on one of them because it was pretty decently paying. I got close, but it was taking way too much time and it was way too annoying, and I watched so many ads. So hopefully I save you from that. This one specifically, Go Kawaii, was really easy. It only gave me a total of, 12 cents, but I would avoid them. All right. Trying to make this as quick as possible, but I realize I've actually done a lot and there's a lot of information. This is the Lucky Buddies offer that is listed on Freecash. It only shows getting to level 100 as the main task, and it's one of those same games where it shows you a lot of ads, you spin a reel or something, and it was really hard to try to get to level 100, so I did fail. But as I mentioned previously in the video, Swagbucks does have an offer that has different tiers if you want to try it. This game isn't as bad as the depth games, but it wasn't really that fun of a game to play. Dragonscape's Adventure is one that a lot of people on Reddit actually really like. So if you find a offer for it that doesn't seem too hard, you can go ahead with that. What I will say is reaching level 15 will take you a couple of days, and this game does heavily limit your energy, so you have to kind of do stuff and then wait. I wasn't really enjoying the game, so I decided not to do it. Smash Party, I have not been credited for what I completed yet, but that's one good thing to note is sometimes it just takes time, so just be patient. Anything that I have talked about in here, I've told you if I had issues or not, and then what I've been paid on, so no worries there. I didn't like this game either, so same thing, I moved on. And the one that I started today is called, I think the actual game is called, let me check. I think it's called Clone Evolution something or another. This game I don't have too much feedback on yet. The main task is to collect one orange hero within 30 days. It's not a bad game, so I don't mind playing it. It's your typical idle RPG style game. I haven't figured out how hard it is to get one orange hero yet, so I can't tell you that. And it only pays $3.22. So that brings me to the offer that actually paid me the most. That is not a game, which is the stash offer. And there are a lot of offers similar to this on each website, where if you sign up for a certain website and you make a first deposit, they will pay you out. This one was $75, and Stash is an app where you get stocks and things like that. You only had to deposit $5. And Stash also offered a $5 bonus to new users, so my account has $10 in it. And then I got paid $75 from doing this offer. So I essentially made $80 off of my $5, which was worth it. And I have withdrawn this money and used it for groceries and things like that. The other offer and why I showed you grab points was because there was an offer to get 10,000 points on grab points, and you get paid $10 on Freecash. So that's essentially doubling your money, because you go over to grab points, you do an offer, and I did some puzzle game or something and got 10,000 points. Then I got paid $10 on Freecash, and I got the $10, 10,000 points on grab points, so doubled it up. And you'll see offers like that from time to time. I usually judge them based on how I like the other website. I'll check it out first. If it looks awful, it looks terrible, I'll just avoid it, but it is there if you would like. So the last game that I will talk about is this game called Battle Knight, and it just never credited at all for me. It could have been because I was testing things out and I did something I shouldn't have, which I warned you about earlier in the video. And it's all based around collecting orange heroes. It actually took me a while to earn one orange hero, and then I didn't even get paid out for it. So I did not keep going onward to the higher goals. Sorting the games based on maximum paid out to minimum brings Battle Knight right up there, as well as these Mafia games and Raid Shadow Legends. But if you notice, if you go back to most popular, Battle Knight is not anywhere to be found in those first couple rows. Don't know why I just said roles. So I'm assuming it is downvoted for maybe the same reason. So Battle Knight might be one to avoid. So to end the video, I will mention two games that I don't have on my account because I have played them previously before. And remember, most often these games want you to be a new user. So if you already have an account on these games, just be careful about that. But if you've never played them, Raid Shadow Legends is on all of the websites almost all of the time, with different offers happening here and there. Another game that I have already played just for fun was State of Survival. So if you see a offer for that and it's based around just your base level or something like that, I would recommend doing both of those because they are usually high paying and I actually enjoy playing both of those games. So it's good to check out. All right, I'll make the outro real quick because I feel like I talked a lot really fast. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Remember, the links are in the description if you want to check out these websites. I hope it can help somebody out, or you can at least learn about some new games and get a little kickback to invest in other games, yada yada. Like and subscribe if you want to make me happy. I don't know. I need something these days. And if you do something like this, or you try any of these offers and you find ones that are easy or ones to avoid, etc., feel free to leave those in the comments as well, because maybe it will help someone else down the line. Thank you.